Hello everyone, this is Money Mom. Welcome to the channel. Today I want to chat with you guys about my problem with extreme frugality. You can only cut so much. Let's get started and talk about it. And some of these things I'm going to mention today are things I've heard about happening with a couple people that I know. And I just wanted to share this and actually get your feedback. Many of you have been around for a while and have watched a lot of wonderful, informative videos on frugality. You have some people that are into building wealth and you have channels like that. You have some that are living modified frugal, some that are living extremely frugal life. And there's nothing wrong with living an extremely frugal life and cutting back on non-essentials. Here is my issue, and I definitely want your feedback on this. I know that it feels like in many of the comments on a lot of the channels, a lot of people are living off a really low income. Maybe Social Security, could be disability, it could be anything. Maybe they even have a job and it doesn't pay a whole lot. And I kind of got thinking about this. You can cut your expenses back a lot. And you can cut so many things out. I mean, there's a lot of things that we could all cut out of our budget. If you want to get rid of internet, cable, if you want to even get rid of your cell phone bill and have a track phone, you can do all sorts of things to live an extremely frugal budget. And I know that. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. This is my thing though. I thought about all the things that cost quite a bit. And I kind of wondered, let's take for example somebody that only gets $1,200 a month for Social Security. We're going to say that person doesn't have a part-time job. They own a small, modest home. They have a small used car and all of that. And they are making it, and they even can set aside on their small income, they can set aside $200 a month, which is $2,400 a year. I got to thinking, well, let's take the home. We're going to say they keep their home maintained, and they do a lot of the work themselves. All of a sudden, something happens with their plumbing, and it's a major big plumbing bill that's $3,600. Or their air conditioning heating goes out, which could end up being even more. Now they could buy window units, that's true, or maybe even go without air conditioning, depending where they live. But say if something major happens with their home and the little bit of savings they have, we're going to say they have $3,000 in their savings, wouldn't be enough to cover that. Would they be able to afford the payments? Say at the same time they have a vehicle and their vehicle's getting older. Do they have the money to be able to pay cash for another vehicle? And I also thought about medical. You've got medical, dental, and vision. Now, a lot of people have really good insurance that covers a lot of that. But I know of someone recently that has, lives on a low income and they need the hearing aids. And the hearing aids they need are not covered by insurance. And I think they told me they were like $8,000. I never would have thought that it would cost $8,000 for hearing aids. I think it was $4,000 for each one. I might be mistaken, but I know it was a lot. Well, they're not going to be able to get them. So I just was wondering what your guys' take is on this. I do think that you can live off a smaller income. My big concern with it is when big things come up, such as medical, vision, dental, major home repairs, transportation, or an extreme case in rent increase. And I had a friend recently who is a senior citizen that their rent was going way up. They finally did find another place that's $1,000 a month, which they can afford, but they can't afford more than $1,000 a month because they work a part-time job and have Social Security. Well, their rent was going up from like $1,200 a month for a one-bedroom, one-bath to $1,450 a month, which is a lot. And a lot of people said, why don't you get in senior housing? Well, they're on waiting lists for all the senior housing, but some of the waiting lists for a couple years. So I guess I'm asking you guys today, what do you guys think about this? How do people live off an extremely low income? The only way that I could think of is a couple ways. Number one, you live with family and everybody kind of shares together. And I'm seeing more and more people doing that now, where you've got a husband and wife and maybe in-laws sharing a space and then sharing expenses. Also, I know of somebody that they live with their family and 3 different family members use one car. That could save a lot of money that way. Medical, I'm not really sure, unless you have some really good insurance in there. Home repairs, maybe you have a family member that can do it for cost. That might be a way. But I don't know about you guys. I always want to make sure that I have money for larger things coming up. That's why for me, savings is really important. What do you guys think about that? If you live on an extremely low income and you've cut everything to the bare bones because you can only cut so much, how do you handle when larger expenses come up? How do you save for them? I want to hear from you guys in the comments below. That's all I have to say for now. I love you, I appreciate you, and I sure hope you come back for tomorrow morning's video. Bye-bye.